Your 20s are uniquely weird because it's the only decade where you have complete adult freedom but almost zero actual instruction on how to use it. See, nobody pulls you aside to warn you when you are making a mistake because most of the worst decisions you can make don't look like dramatic explosion. They don't look like quitting your job to join a cruiser or gambling away your savings in Vegas. These are bad and you know it. But the worst decisions are quiet. They look like comfortable micro habits that feel totally harmless in the moment, but compound over 10 years until you wake up in your 30s wondering where all your time and the potential went. So, here are the worst decisions you can make in your 20s and why they are so easy to fail into. Well, let's get the obvious ones out of the way. The decisions that can actually ruin your life overnight. Getting a DUI, getting into stupid bar fights over bruised egos, getting involved in sketchy legal situations because of who you are hanging around, or leaning heavily into daily substance crutches to dodge your problems. These are high risk, zero reward choices. They are the speed run to destroy your options. One bad night can attach a permanent tag to your name that follows you through every job application, background check, and the international flight for the next decade. It takes years to build a decent life and about 30 seconds of impulsive stupidity to wipe it out. So, why the fuck would you do that? Okay. Now, fast ruin is obvious. Most people already know not to do these things. But the far more dangerous decisions are the socially acceptable ones. The quiet choices that feel completely normal while slowly eroding your future inch by inch. Number 1. Letting your dumb kid discount expire in silence. There is an unspoken social grace period in your 20s that we can call dumb kid discount or whatever. When you are 21 or 22 at a job or in a new space, you can sometimes get a pass for not knowing how things work. You get a temporary dumb kid discount on your mistake. People expect you to mess up, so you don't pay the full price yet. You can ask obvious questions, mess up simple tasks, and admit you are confused. And people will just say, that's fine. They are young, they are learning. The worst mistake you can make during this window is letting your ego get in the way, nodding along when you don't understand something, pretending you have it all figured out, and being too afraid of looking dumb to ask for help. You protect your pride in the short term, but you sacrifice actual growth. Because here's the catch, this discount has a strict expiration date. If you spend your early 20s pretending you know everything instead of actual learning, you wake up at 30s and the grace period is gone. People expect you to be competent by then. The questions that were endearing at 22 become embarrassing at 32. Use the best while you have it. Ask the dumb questions. Be the amateur. Admit that you have no idea what's going on. And gather skills ruthlessly while the world is still willing to teach you for free. Because when you are older, you cannot do that anymore, I think. Number 2, living on unearned dopamine. And it's not what you think. Listen. Now, we live in an era where you can get every basic human desire satisfied from your bed without taking a single real world risk. You want entertainment, you have infinite streaming. You want food, it shows up at your door. You want social validation, you drop a photo online and watch numbers go up. You want human connection, you scroll through people's lives on a screen. A fucking screen. This creates a hidden trap, unearned dopamine. When you get all your brain's reward signals from low fraction digital loops, your natural drive to build real world skills, go outside, make real friends, and achieve difficult things completely drains away. Why take the social risk of going out and talking to strangers when you can just stay home and get the exact same brain chemistry from a feed? You tell yourself you are just resting or chilling, but what actually happening is your comfort zone is shrinking. The less fraction you face, the less fraction you can face. Eventually, basic real world activities like making phone calls, talking to people, handling an awkward silence, or trying a new hobby where you suck at first start feeling like overwhelming mountains to climb. So, like really, comfort in your 20s is a quiet drug. If you never push past it, you trade temporary ease for long term fragility. Fragility. I like that word. 3. Single point fragility and missing the risk window. Putting your entire life on a single pillar and playing it so safe that you waste the greatest leverage decade you will ever get. Relying on one income stream, one narrow skill set, or one employer gives you a full sense of security. If that single point fails, if an industry shifts, AI changes the job market, or a company downsizes, you have no backup foundation. Building secondary skills, side projects, or small investments in your 20s is not about just making extra money, it's about insurance. Even worse is waiting to feel ready before taking a calculated risk. See, your 20s are a completely unique window. It's usually the only decade in your adult life where you have full independence with minimal heavily obligations. No mortgage, no dependence, no massive structural commitments. If you try to start a project, pivot careers, or move to a new city at 23 and it fails catastrophically, you just go back to your apartment, eat cheap food, and rebuild. The cost of failure is almost zero. If you wait to take those exact same risk at 38 with a family and a mortgage, the cost of failure is massive. It's impossible. Basically, playing it so safe when risk is cheap is actually the riskiest decision you can make. 4. Oversharing and having zero boundaries. Now, in your 20s, it's very easy to confuse oversharing with true intimacy and being agreeable with being mature. When you are trying to figure yourself out, there is a temptation to podcast everything. You share your deepest insecurities, financial trouble, relationship drama, and long-term goals with casual acquaintances, new friends, or on public feeds, social media and stuff. You think you're just being open and authentic. But real connection is not built by dumping your raw internal processing onto everyone you meet. It's built over time through mutual trust with the only few people you actually going to have in your life. When you overshare your long-term plans before you have even started, your brain gets a cheap hit of fake accomplishment, which actually sometimes lowers your drive to do the work. And when you overshare your deepest vulnerabilities with people who haven't earned your trust, you hand away your privacy and leave yourself exposed to unwanted opinions and judgment. The same goes for boundaries. If you do not learn how to say a quiet, polite, but firm no in your 20s to plans you hate, toxic dynamics, or expectations that drain you, you will spend years living out of script written by other people. Privacy is not about being secret or paranoid. It's about keeping your energy intact so you can focus on building your life instead of defending it. 5. Depositing your freedom in a garbage can. What the fuck that even mean? See, the moment you land your first real job, a very subtle psychological trap opens up. You finally have money, so you feel like you have made it. Naturally, you immediately upgrade your lifestyle to match that feeling. A $500 a month car payment, a nicer apartment in the center of the city, eating out 4 nights a week, and buying clothes to fit an image. It feels like you are leveling up, but what you're actually doing is locking yourself into a cage. Carrying consumer debt or maximizing your expenses in your 20s is like voluntarily playing a video game on hard mode with starter weapon. Like you meeting the final boss of Elden Ring with the naked guy in the beginning. Every dollar tied up in a monthly payment to project an image is a dollar that can compound in an investment account. More importantly, it's leverage you just threw in the trash. When you have zero savings and high monthly bills, you do not own your life. Your bills do. You cannot quit a toxic job. You can't take a gap year to try a business idea. You can't move to a new city when a unique opportunity pops up. You have to stay in line because you need that exact paycheck to just maintain the stuff you bought. You end up trading your actual real world freedom for the illusion of success, just to impress people on social media who forgot about your past 5 seconds after scrolling past it. Like, trust me, yeah, 5 seconds. The attention span of this generation is fucked up. So, yeah, your 20s are not meant to be flawless performance where you make every right move. You are going to mess things up, change your mind, and make bad choices. That's literally the point of that decade. The goal is not perfection, it's damage control. It's about making sure that your mistakes are the kind you learn from, not the kind that lock you into a life you do not choose. Of course, avoid the explosive nights that destroy your options all at once, but pay even closer attention to the quiet daily habits that drain your freedom slowly.